Good morning. It is Sunday, February 3rd. Getting off to work a little early today. Got to make a quick pick stop to Kroger. Since we're going to be working 12 to 9, going to need to pick up some dinner from Kroger's while we're there. So just something little to kind of tide us over until we get home. Got lots to work on when we get home. We got to finish up a wedding video, and then we've got the office just it's just bad. Like, it's really bad. So, I mean, you saw it yesterday. I was able to kind of burrow my way into the office. A small enough space to where I could edit the vlog. Now, sitting down, trying to edit an actual wedding film wouldn't work because I need a little bit more space. I need to be a little bit more comfortable. If I'm only sitting in front of the computer for about 30 minutes, I could stand and do that. So, get started. I really hope you guys are having a great day, having a great weekend. It's coming to a close, but hope you guys are doing well. We have some nice weather here in Ohio, finally. 45 degrees, the snow is melting, the sun is shining. We're kind of in that, it looks nice, like if you look in the sky, but when you look down, like it's just like all slush and mud and grossness. So it'll take a little bit for the ground to thaw out and dry up and become normal again. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to spring and summer. Those are my two favorite seasons, spring and summer. Spring because it's just getting back from the cold winter and all that stuff, and then summer is one of my favorite times because if you can do stuff outside, you do it outside, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and roll the intro and get our day started. Let's get it. All right, guys, so far today we've actually got quite a bit done. We got, last night we put the second coat on the floor right before we went to bed. That's been drying all night. And then I kind of cut into the wall and all that stuff around the edges, did all the edging work and stuff like that on the floor, so that's all done. We got the couch moved back in and put back together, got that all cleaned off. We got the coffee table moved back in and cleaned off. We didn't clean off the top because we were putting more stuff on top, like all the electronics and stuff like that. We didn't get a chance to move. We moved the entertainment stand into the room, but not where it's supposed to be. Only because only half of that floor is done. So Amanda today is going to be working on finishing up the basement floor. So we'll be able to put everything back the way it's supposed to, wash everything, clean everything down, and we're kind of at odds end with each other on this. I say we clean it and leave it alone and don't use it. We haven't used the space in probably about 4 to 6 months anyway, just because how small Sawyer is, and a basement's not, the cold floor, the basement's not really a suitable place for a toddler to run around and get into. So my suggestion was, let's clean it, get it show ready, and then just not use it. That's kind of my idea. Amanda wants to actually use the space, which that's fine with me. I just don't want to scratch the floor, so we'll figure out what we want to do. So we got that going. Got the upstairs odds and ends, corners and things like that all sanded down. The stuff that we were working on yesterday, got that all sanded down so she can actually paint it all tonight. So we're kind of just trucking along. There's a few big ticket items that we've still got to work on. So the garage is a huge item. That's got to get cleaned out. There's a cabinet drawer that Sawyer pulled out and hit the floor and broke. So we need to kind of fix that and get that back in working repair. There's kind of like a breakfast cart that we have that the drawer kind of wobbles a little bit. So the face of the drawer kind of wobbles a little bit. So just got to tighten up the screw in the back there. I'm trying to think. There were some other things we want to get. The office is literally covered with junk, or like straight up junk. Some of the stuff needs to be thrown away. Some of it needs to go in storage, which we're going to be using Amanda's studio for like the next 30 days to kind of store some of that stuff, to get it out of the house, to kind of declutter, essentially, minimalize stuff. So it will be fun. Oh my God, look how busy this place is. It'll be fun for a little bit, but yeah, kind of looking forward to it, actually. Cool. All right, so we pulled into Kroger. Let's go get our food and our drinks and head to work. All right, got our lunch and dinner for the day. It's about just after 11 o'clock. Let's get to work. Come on, dude. Let's get to work and get this day over with. Forgot that today is Super Bowl Sunday, so naturally every grocery store in America is probably going to be swamped and stupid busy because everybody's getting their stuff for their Super Bowl parties. So keep that in mind if you're going to go out, if you need something. The one thing I did want to talk about today, and especially for new videographers and new photographers, and at least people in the wedding scene that are offering goods and services. One of the things I hear about or hear all the time on YouTube comments and things like that, how do I get more clients? And we talked a little bit about, getting more clients and things like that, and how to gain more leads and things. But I'll tell you, Facebook is a powerful tool when it comes to getting new clients. Now, most of the clients that you gain, like, I don't want to say most, most of the clients, not all. I would say somewhere around 65 to 75% of the clients that I gain on Facebook are budget clients, right? So if you're an established photographer or established videographer, this might not be a avenue for you to gain more clients, but for those of us that are just starting out, Facebook groups are a magical thing, right? There are so many groups out there. They range in like resale, they range in like different locations and things like that. Do yourself a favor and block off about an hour to research different Facebook groups in your area or in your field and join those groups. I can't tell you how many clients I've gained from those groups. It's insane. People create these groups in just the idea that they're looking for themselves, or they're looking for a wedding, or or maybe they're a service provider and they're looking to gain more clients, or just and people just flock to these things. And it's a great way for people to get in touch with you. It's a really helpful tool. If you can, the couple things that I wanted to talk about was mastering the Facebook type of marketplace. Number one, don't sell yourself short on location, right? So if, like, for instance, I'm in Dayton, Ohio, and there is a Northeast Facebook group that I've joined that primarily brides and grooms in like the Cleveland, Akron area, they post to, and they're in search of posts go up there. Yeah, it's 3 hours away, 4 hours away from me, but I have family that live up there, so I don't have to worry about driving up the day of and leaving the day of. I can drive up the day before, spend the night there, and then drive home the day after, kind of make a weekend out of it. You might not have that situation available to you. So, for those instances, I don't charge for travel. You may, you might say, okay, I'll do your wedding for this amount and then plus gas money or plus X amount of dollars for travel or whatever you call it. I wouldn't recommend calling it gas money. That seems kind of petty. But for travel costs, right? And, that's miles on your car, gas in your tank, insurance, things like that. All that needs to be taken into account, not just the physical gas that takes to get there. So that might be something, don't necessarily look in just your city. And maybe, and if you're not willing to travel, then, that's unfortunate. But when you're just starting out, turning away business because of a personal preference I don't think we should be doing that. I think you, as a new business owner, as someone that's trying to do a skill, a job professionally, you don't have the option of turning away business. I mean, that kind of goes along with like political views and lifestyle choices and things like that. It's just good business, right? Turning away potential customers because of a personal preference of yours is not a smart thing, not a smart choice. You have to be apolitical in these things. Just because someone's political beliefs don't line up with yours, I mean, that stuff, you have to switch that stuff off. You have to be the professional and turn that stuff off. So yeah, the Facebook groups that's a huge way to gain momentum and gain clients and things like that. Now, you might not get your asking price, right? And you might have to negotiate a little bit. But I've found that rather than negotiating price, negotiating service works better, right? So for example, if you are a videographer or a photographer that, let's say, your full day is considered a 10-hour day, and that's what's on your website, or that's what you quote people. I charge this amount for 10 hours. Let's say someone gives, someone's looking for a videographer or a photographer, and you're in their price, or you're above their price range. Rather than lowering your price range to meet their budget, try to offer them more services. So for example, saying, normally I'm there for like 10 hours. Tell you what if I threw in an engagement shoot? Or what if I threw in like a 1-year anniversary shoot? That's kind of what I'm toying with right now, to kind of balance out the cost versus value type of thing. Or maybe it's a time thing. Maybe they're like, maybe you just say, normally I'm there for 10 hours. Tell you what, I'll go full day from the very start of from the start of the morning, the first thing you do, you'll see me, to the very last dance that night. You'll get more pictures, you'll get more video, the content will be better because I'll have more to pick from when I create your films. Or photographers, you normally quote a certain number of pictures per hour type of thing. More hours means more pictures at no additional cost. Kind of give them a little bit more value for the dollar. That way you're not losing on your revenue, right? And your business plan and your business model, because we all know when you're starting a business, you need to create that business plan based around a budget. This is how much I charge, and this section of that cost goes to this section of that cost goes to that. Something has to go over to insurance and replacing broken equipment and upgrading equipment, things like that. That price isn't just money in my pocket. That price goes to run my business. So the last thing you want to be doing is cutting into your cost, right? Because where do you go from there? You've figured out that you need to make X amount of dollars per wedding, and now you're cutting yourself short by lowering your cost just to get a job. When if you offered more services, that might show them a little bit more value. They might be able to say, you know what, but my budget is $1,000, but I probably can squeeze another $200 out of somewhere else, or I could spend a little bit extra. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and I'll book you for $1,200. We'll stretch my budget a little bit, and having the extra 3 hours, is worth it because I'm going to get more pictures out of it. So you're right. Let's just go ahead and do that, right? And it's up to you to sell the customer on that idea, not charging them more just to charge them more, but to show them value. Like, hey, you know what? I usually deliver between 40 to 60 images per hour. I'm going to be shooting an extra 3 hours. So you're looking at another, 120 to 180 pictures for $200. Like, that's a really good deal. So you never know. It might be, and at the end of the day, maybe it comes down to a cost thing, but we shouldn't just jump right to cost, right? What I tell these guys in here, we shouldn't just be selling on cost. We should be selling on value, and then if cost is still an issue, then we can talk costs. So, all right, we're pulling into work, guys. I like to ramble, but let's go ahead and get this 9 to 5 started and over with. All right, gonna take a little bit of a break, run and see Eli play some basketball. He's got a game at 4 o'clock. So we're gonna go take our lunch break and watch him play some Pee Wee basketball, and then head back to work. So far got quite a bit done. 9 to 5, got meeting set up for next week with the team. Got some feedback for results and some feedback for individual coaching sessions from earlier this week. And yeah, just trying to make sure we keep results above goal and keep communicators held accountable for what they're doing, making sure they're dialing their calls and everything like that. But yeah, also been able to get some things done on the videography side of things as well. Started planning out my list for next week's vlogs. I'm really excited about this coming week and what it's going to mean for the channel and stuff like that. Some really good context, some really good talking points and things like that for you guys. So hopefully you enjoy it. Putting a little bit more work into the preparation for these things. So hopefully it shows on the back end. So we'll see. But so getting back into our topic. So we were talking about Facebook and using groups and things like that to gain momentum early on in your career and early on in your business. And one of the things that I wanted to impress upon everybody is when you see someone post for in search of photography, or it's mostly in search of videography, because there's a lot of people doing it, but there's a lot more photographers out there doing photography. So for example, when someone posts for in search of videography, there's usually, after about a 6-hour period, there's usually about 25 to 30 posts. But for like photography, like within an hour, there could be 50 to 60, like the same number. So there's a bunch more photographers out there, trying to gain business versus videographers. So keep that in mind with some of these tips. So anyway, so when you see someone that says in search of videographer, X amount of dollars this date, don't be afraid to reach out to them and do all that stuff. But do yourself a favor. siphon through the comments, because in there are some people that'll put like following, or they'll put a period, or they'll say, I'm also looking for a videographer. And I'm kind of curious how many people are actually following up with those people, because it's not the main post. And, sometimes, I hate to say this, but business people get really busy and they kind of like just hit it and quit it, right? They're just like, all right, here's my stuff, here's my email, here's my website, tell me if you're interested, okay, bye. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And then they don't check, they don't check on it. They, sometimes they'll follow up with the person via Messenger or whatever, or, if they've got the phone number somehow. But check through those comments. You might find one or two people in there looking for a photographer, or a videographer for that matter, that just didn't create a post. So definitely check that. Going back to the actual message though, you want to be personable. You want to give them some information, but really what you're trying to do, and we've talked about this before, what you're really trying to do is push that phone call, right? You want a one-on-one conversation, or one-on-two if their significant other is present. You want that one-on-one conversation. That's what you're trying to push. So, leaving them a message like, hey, here's my website, give me a call, that's not very personable. That's, you're putting a lot of work on them, things like that. So, what I've I don't want to say seen success with, but what I've been doing for 2019 is, hi, I'll split it into two things. So the post, I'll respond to their post, right? But first, I'll send them a direct message, right? Sometimes they give you an option to hit message. Other times, I'll just click on their name and send them a message. Now, sending them a message from Facebook works a couple different ways. Sometimes it doesn't ping their phone unless they're friends. So that's why I kind of do the 1-2 punch with the message and then the comment on their actual post. So, any rate, I send them a message, outline, saying, hey, I saw your post on Facebook looking for a videographer. First off, congratulations. I'm really excited for you. I'd love to talk to you more about my videography services and what we can do for you. As of right now, I'm for a full day's worth of coverage, I'm charging this amount. I don't charge for travel, specifically to the Cleveland area, like we talked about before. I don't charge for travel, but I would really like to talk to you one-on-one. Let's set up a time where we can talk over the phone and kind of go over the details of your big day. Thank you very much. Here's my phone number. Give me a call or message me back here, Joe. Right? Thanks, Joe. Congratulations again, Joe. That kind of thing. Very personable. Give them some information, right? Don't want to give away everything, because my wedding package is very customizable. I want to answer your questions, and I want to ask you some questions to see if it's going to be a good fit. Kind of leaves a little bit more for the conversation, right? Because if you give them everything, right? If you say, I charge this amount for this many hours, this is, I'd love to book with you, that, you go over everything, then they have no reason to talk to you. Like, you've given them all the information. So at the end of the day, that's the message I send. And then I follow up with a message on a comment on their post saying, hey, so-and-so, I just sent you over a direct message with some of my information about videography services. I'd love to talk to you more over the phone. Let's chat. Or, congratulations, thanks again. Can't wait to hear from you. Look forward to talking with you. Something like that, and then respond to their comment, and hopefully that will ping. That should ping their phone, and then direct them to your message. So that's kind of how I've been working comments and messages on Facebook. So we'll see. I'm kind of curious, how do you guys respond? Do you get any business from Facebook? How do you respond to text messages and messages from websites and things like that? So we just got done with Eli's basketball game. He did really good, had a couple shots on the basket and a couple rebounds, some really good passes, and he's getting a little more physical. I'm kind of digging it, you know? He usually gets teamed up against Jaden, which is he's a pretty tall dude. Jaden's a little bit taller than Eli, and he's a little more physical than Eli, which is good for both of them. They both need to be a little bit more physical. They're the big guys on the court, so they need to be physical. So I'm glad Jaden actually pushes them a little bit. So good basketball game. So we're gonna head back to work and finish the 9 to 5, and then head home and get some work done on the computer. All right, guys. So I wanted to end the vlog. A little bit of an echo. I apologize for that. We finally got the first coat on this side of the basement, the hallway side. As you can tell, the living room is starting to come back to order. Got the couch in place. TV cabinet goes over here, but we still need to do another coat on this side. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Some type of like reaction or something. I don't know. But there's definitely going to be at least one more coat all the way through there. We got some of our older video game systems and stuff like that will. Some of them will get packed up, like the Dreamcast and Super Nintendo. That'll get packed up. The other two will go in there with the PS4, the Xbox One, and the receiver. The Switch, I'm not really sure what we're going to do with the Switch yet. Get the surround sound hooked back up. And then this room will pretty much be done once we get the hutch back over there. Coming back over here, you can see my lovely office has just kind of been like, hey, catch all. This is all the stuff I was talking about, like Sawyer and Eli's art easel thing that needs to get packed away. Oh man, I can't wait to be a longboard. Cannot wait. Gotta get some nice weather out there though. But all this stuff is just gonna have to get put away somewhere. Alright, so we're gonna end the vlog there. Really appreciate you guys watching. Couple more vlogs and we'll have this all put back together. I've got some work to do, so it's kind of taken hiatus from videography for the time being, just uploading these quick little vlogs with very little editing. So appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I greatly appreciate it. It's a great way to support the channel. It's free. I appreciate it. Or if you just want to share the video, right, just share it. You don't have to subscribe or you don't have to like, just share it, because your circle and my circle, we might have a little bit different circle. So we'll see. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, and have a great night.